filming for Carolyn's Musings on YouTube and Etsy, and on Facebook, One Way Journals. So today what we're doing is bringing you a tutorial on how to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, and also we're going to be making this journal using the Shades of Spring Ephemera Kit. So this is something that you can use with your own papers, but yes, we can't wait to get into it. So this is my front cover. This is actually using a freebie over on Carolyn's Facebook group. As I said, it's called One Way Journals. So if you head over there, we'll be able to help you answer any questions with a fantastic community over there, and how to access her freebies as well. So this is the journal that we're going to be making. And yes, so there's lots of fantastic, it's a basic journal with ephemera. So let me get on to the next section where I can show you what the ephemera pages look like. So here are the pages of the Shades of Spring Ephemera Kit. So we have those, which are like a pamphlet that fold in half, and then everything is backed with this backing sheet, so all of the cards are. And then we have another one of these, plus some pockets. Beautiful spring flowers on an envelope. I have hidden his word in my heart. Another envelope with Isaiah 51:1. Another envelope, a hymn to God to the Father. Another gorgeous envelope with Isaiah 55:12. Some notelets here, and then another one that will fold in half, which is Isaiah 40:31. Some more of these with Isaiah 1:18-19. Then we have some tags that are all embellished for us, and then some tabs. These can be some long pockets, and then these cut out, turn around, cut out, and they can be double layered on a top, so 2 pockets on the one. Then we have some more pockets, butterflies, lovely. Some more pockets, Daughter of the King, and then we have some labels that have been embellished with pictures on them. And then we have some embellished tags. So with some florals, spring florals, some fussy cards with butterflies, some text and words on stamp shapes, and then some more labels there. And then some more tags with scripture on them. And then we have these that are some tabs. And then, sorry, I'll just pull over this other kit. This is a very similar kit. This is the basic journal kit, which is an add-on, ephemera add-on to the basic journaling papers. And this one is pretty much the same. However, most of them haven't been embellished, so they're leaving it for you to embellish yourself. And inside this kit, if I can find it, sorry, I didn't print it off again, was some scripture cards. Whoops, sorry, wish I could find them. There we go. So scripture cards, you can print off as many as you like of those, and that's in that kit as well. So there's a choice of 2 kits, ones that not as embellished, but still very pretty. And then we have the Shades of Spring Ephemera Kit. So I'm going to go cut all these out, and then we're going to pop them into a journal. And so we're going to use our own papers to make a journal. And if you'd like to see our other video, which is the basic journaling papers, that one is a basic journal with the papers that are included in it. I'll show you, so look out for that video. That's with these, and that's not going to hold a lot of ephemera in it, but they're really quick, easy journals, prayer journals that you can put together. So look out for that video. But this one, yes, we're going to cut them all out and then make them into a beautiful springtime journal. Okay, thanks. Okay, I've cut out my ephemera pieces, and then I was looking at what did I want to do for a cover. So I am going to do a really basic journal because I wanted to show and do a tutorial for a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. So what I did was I grabbed a piece of scrapbooking paper card that I had in my stash, so that's 12 by 12, and I've just allowed in the center, either side of the 6-inch center mark, a 1/4 of an inch for a spine. So I've done that, and I've just inked that so you can see where that is. And then on the other side was this dusty blue, which I really love the color of it, but I decided that I wanted to reinforce the edges with some washi tape. So I've done that. I've just added a piece down the spine and then around the edges some washi tape, and I've glued it because washi tape does sometimes lift, so I've glued that as well just to reinforce that on the outside. And then, as you can see here, I've just attached some ribbon for a closure. And this beautiful cover is one of Carolyn's latest freebies for January. So go over to the Facebook group to access that. These beautiful shabby owls. So this one is on the front, and I'm just going to glue this one on the back. So let me do that now. I printed double-sided just because I did one through Word, and I just wanted to see if there was much of a difference the way they printed through Photoshop or through Word, and they're actually pretty much the same. So that's why I have that on the back. Oops. And then just put that all through the center. There we go. Right. And just try and center that as much as I can. There we go. Okay, so the idea of this journal is to use the Spring Ephemera Kit, and you can definitely use it with papers from the basic. These were designed to go with the basic journal papers, which are in this one, which is the previous video that I've just finished. So definitely you can use this kit to print off your papers. But I wanted to this time just show you that you can still make a beautiful journal with any papers that you have that you might have spare. So I have a lot of parchment paper in my stash, and so this is what I'm going to be using. So I've got parchment. It's a slightly green color, cream, blue and pink. So I thought with the spring colors they might match really well. I've grabbed 2 sheets of each, so that gives me 8 pages. And if you don't have anything like that, I think if you have a light colored tea dyed, coffee dyed paper, sometimes you can do eco dye papers with avocado, a whole bunch of things. So look up that on YouTube if you want to go down there. I love using eco dyed papers as well. So I have got my pages here already folded, and please note my cover is a 12 by 12, which I cut down to obviously 12 that way, and then this way it is just under 8.5, and that's because on our A4 size paper it just fits in very, very snugly in here. And so that's why I haven't really increased the height that much. Now your measurements might be different if you're using US letter size. Obviously that's a little bit smaller, so you could reduce that if you need to. So that's going to be my signature. I do want to put an envelope, which was in my last tutorial. We did a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but today we're going to be attempting to do that here in the center. And I got that up, maybe it's that way, so I want it to flip that way, so I'm going to stitch down here instead of here, so it will flip like that. And I have already punched my holes. And also I wanted to let you know the strip that I had on the top of the 12 by 12 is this piece. So I thought that strip, folded in the center, and then I folded in the sides and left about 1 inch on either side and punched a little hole, and that will go in the front here. Now let's hope I can get this lined up well. It's quite difficult to do while you're filming and trying to measure that up, but that's going to go there. And then our envelope in the center, like I mentioned, which way? That way up. And what I've done is I've pre-punched the holes. So let me just move this one out of the way. What you do is find your center point and then punch. Now, when I clip, I'm going to clip these again in a minute, but clip your papers down so they keep still. And when you lift up, hold it very still, measure them up, and then poke your awl or a pointy tool and poke it through, lifting the paper up this side just slightly, and make sure you poke straight ahead so that you get right onto the spine. You don't want to be going up on an angle or you're going to hit somewhere up here. So with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, you want to find the center point, and then somewhere here, which is about 1 inch from the end, you don't want to go too far down or your pages are going to rip, and then find just a center point between, so 1, 2, 3, and then find the center point between for your 4 and 5 holes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just measure this up. Let's just tap that one more time, make sure it's all snug. And then I've got that one. I'm making it a little bit difficult, I think, by doing that piece, but let's go with it. So that's going to go there. And then my envelope, which I have pre-punched a hole. I did it on this side. Okay, I've already done that one. So let me just think about this for a second. If that goes there, that's going to flip that way. That's going to be okay. All right, we'll do it this way. So that's my center there, center there. Now let's just grab those to make sure that that's all snug and tight. And the envelope is quite difficult to grab. A shorter envelope is to, let me get that back in the center. I have these, they don't quite reach, but let's put these down there. These jumbo paper clips to try and hold the envelope. Oops. Hang on, I need it that way. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it tight and do that at the same time. I've got a tickle in my throat. It's my allergies. Okay, so I've got that there. That will flip correctly. Okay, fantastic. And then this one goes here. This is the one that's going to be a little bit difficult to hold because I don't have anything big enough to grab that one. So you might want to miss this if that's going to be a bit tricky. I'm being very brave to do this on camera with that little piece in there, I think. And let me just double check. I did punch a hole down here, so it did capture that twice, that little pocket twice. And let me measure that there. Let it go, grab my pegs and grab it onto the page. Okay, so with your needle, you will need an embroidery needle, and I have measured my embroidery cotton is 3 times the length and a little bit extra for good measure. So let's go for it. All right, so we're going through the center hole, and I just want to make sure that that's grabbed there, and then I've got it through the center. There we go. And we want to leave a tail on this end. And then what we want to do is come back through this hole here, so the second one from the top. So in through there, through the second hole. Please, have I got it? Great, I've got it. Okay, then we want to go to the top hole. Through the top hole. Then we want to go from the outside back into the second top hole. Make sure you don't split your thread when you're coming up, which means don't go into the threads that are already there, because that's going to make it very difficult to tighten where we need it tightened. Yep. So now we want to go to the second bottom hole. So here, through the envelope, through the papers, and then out through the back there. Okay, then we want to go from the outside into the very bottom hole, the last hole, up through there, through the papers. Oops, I think I missed that slightly. Then we go back through the second bottom hole there. And then finally, we want to go back through the, let me just see if I can pull that a bit tighter. We want to go back through the center hole and make sure we don't split those threads when we come up. Oh, sorry. Okay. Pierce that. I'm going to go back through there, go through there, and then check it, and then there we go. Back through there. Sorry about that. That needs to be on that side of the string. There we go. Okay, now we can let that go. I should have mentioned before, if you're finding it hard to, because these are like 5 or 6 pieces that are in your embroidery thread, the easy, instead of trying to thread it from the end, is to grab a loop and put your needle in there, pinch it, pull it out, and then squeeze it, and then put your needle through there, and it's a lot easier to thread that way. Okay, so that's just a little hint. Now we want to make sure everything is tight. So that looks tight there, and there we go. Okay, so we're going to do a square knot, so it's left over right and then right over left. And so normally in the middle of a signature, I would leave these strings, just leave them there. You can always put a bead or something that drops down, but because we've got an envelope here, we're just going to chop that off right there. Okay, so we do have quite a bit of excess. You might want to use 3 lengths, but I like to just have enough to make sure. So we can pull this away. Let's hope for the best that I've done it correctly. Okay, so there's the front of our journal. There's our signature sewn in. There's our pocket on the front. There's our envelope on the center. So now what we can do is glue down. And so if you didn't see my previous tutorial, you do want to use an envelope that has got flaps and that the whole envelope is open. So printable, digital are great because they come out flat and you cut around, and then you can use it like this. If you're using a junk mail envelope or any other envelope, you might want to steamer open to release the flaps on your envelope. So we do want to keep it open while we're sewing in the signature, and then once we've done that, then we can close this up. There we go. Then maybe I should have cut a notch in there. Actually, is that going to be too late? Let's see if I can just, glitter glue does dry very, very quickly. I'm hoping that might be a bit center. You could probably see better than me. Let's pop that out. So that just whatever we put in there will give us a little bit of extra room. And I was just maybe inking that up on the edges. Okay, so when I did ink the ephemera, I've just sort of mixed between mostly blue. So I have a dye ink, a cobalt, and I also used olive as well, so an archival ink. So you just want to make sure it's a dye ink, not a pigment ink, so it's fast drying. So I just sort of alternated, and that's fantastic. So that's now our center, and it flips like that. And then we have these flips here. So you could line them and put more writing space, but I think I'm going to have plenty of that. So I'm just going to run some glue down these sides to close these little pockets. Okay, so we've got one there, and you can just use whatever you've got, papers you've got in your stash. And we'll do one here. So the basic journal tutorial that I've already done, we did some side pockets on the inside cover. So you certainly can do that. Well, I'll put in all the ephemera and then see what it's looking like and whether I think I need any more pockets on the inside cover. But yeah, this is just an example of how to make a really quick journal. Okay, so we've got that there. So I need to go and check all my ephemera, where I'm going to put them. I'm going to go do all that off camera and then come back to you and show you what the end result looks like. So I've added in all the ephemera pieces. So let's have a look on how this looks finished. Okay. So as we turn this in, you're more than welcome, if you have a second sheet, you can add another pocket in here like we've done with the basic journal, prayer journal tutorial that I did 1 or 2 tutorials ago. And so you can add that in there to add some extra pocket space. But as we did, we sewed in this little bit in the front. And so there's some really cute little miniature scripture cards that I've popped in there. Then this is the second image that comes along with this on the freebie over on Facebook. So just included that little stamped image there. And then I have kept this pretty basic to make a very quick journal. You can definitely add washi, you can add ripped bits of paper and things for more in the background, but I wanted to leave it pretty simple, and then also where you can write around on the pages as well. So we've got a pocket here. This actually had gussets on it, but I've taken those off, inked the edges. I normally actually ink all my pages, but this journal I wanted to keep it pretty simple, so I haven't done that. And then just pop that tag. It's already embellished enough. These were some little tags, so I bunched 3 together and just tied them with some ribbon. So there we go. And then I love doilies, and so they're fantastic to pop in a pocket, and then you can write on the back of them. And so Carolyn does have a doily kit over on Etsy, and I will put the link to that in the description box. Okay, then we have one of these file folder covers, and so I've just added that there to keep it from flipping open, so that's extra writing space. This pocket here holds these 2 little notelet cards. Tune my heart to sing thy praise, that's lovely, so they go in there. Just a fussy cut here. I've added a doily here with a fussy cut just to help close this. Now this is an envelope which is put on the edge of the page. When you do this, you add the glue on this side of the envelope and just a little bit on the sides, and then attach it there. That allows this to flip open freely. So I've added about 3 or 4, I think I printed 2 pages of the scripture cards, and so I've put about 3 or 4 of those in there. Fussy cut on the top of that envelope, and this is one of the cards. It actually was a tab card. I've cut the tab off and just added that, and that tucks in there. Lots of writing space. Writing space again. This was a little label that holds this one in place. Some more writing. Then this is a double layered tag with scripture on it. Added another little doily for writing space, and then a tag in there. Didn't need to embellish anything on those. Definitely feel like if you wanted to add lace, which I have done to lots of my journals, feel free to do that as well. I love these corner scalloped pockets, and so I've just added a fussy cut butterfly on the top of that one. This is 2 little stamps just glued on the edges here to make a page mark that can be lifted off and moved around. So this is the envelope that we have sewn into the journal, added that to help it close. And then in here we have a tag where I added a fussy cut, and then this journal card there. Let's pop that back in there. And that flips open to that beautiful design. So obviously more writing space, another scalloped pocket here. Added a butterfly fussy cut to that tag. And this is a double pocket again with a tag and another doily. This one's just a fussy cut to hold this in place. So more writing spots. So, you know, you can add more to pages if you don't like writing directly on a page. If you prefer to have things hidden, that's why we have lots of these in there, so you can write, and, you know, when somebody opens it up, they can't see exactly what's in it. And so this is an envelope again, so glue down here on the edge, a little bit here on the sides. That creates a pocket. On this side, it creates a flip. And then again, I've got about 3 or 4 scripture cards in there. And this doily, that came from a doily, that's just closing that. In here, there's a little folio. I love this, follow him. And then it has a journal card in it as well. We've just gone over that. And then a pocket. You don't always have to have them down the bottom. I love this design. So hope notelet there with scripture, Isaiah 40:31. I love the book of Isaiah. So there's a lot of those scriptures in this kit. And another one, this is lovely. So I added that there, added This was once again one of the tabs. I just cut that off and created that, put a tab on the top for a journaling card. And then another pocket here, scripture card there, 2 basic tags, and instead of cutting holes in them, I've just added the tabs to the top. This once again was a tabbed card, cut that off, added that to the top, and that is another envelope. Fantastic when you can flip those over, and there we go. Now this one did have tabs on the side, but I cut them off because this came very close, and I thought, look, it's going to be very difficult to get things in and out of that space. Couldn't really punch a notch in it because of the text, which is beautiful text. It says a hymn to God the Father. So I took those off, and then this is just created as extra writing space. And then lastly, we have the other side of that, which has got those little miniature scripture cards in there. So there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and it didn't scare you off too much with the 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I tend to do the 3-hole, but honestly the 5 was just as easy. So I'm glad I've done that. It actually makes the papers more secure within your journal, especially if you're adding an envelope as well. Okay, so thanks so very much for joining us. Please like, share and subscribe, and if you place a comment, even if it's a happy face, anything that you like, any suggestions you have that you would like to see in a video, we'd love to see comments down below. That would be fantastic. Okay, thanks so much. God bless. Bye.